I admit it, I'm selfish and I lack empathy. I focus on my own life and my own challenges, and I have no space for anyone else. I'm not supportive, I make everything about my own struggles, and you might think of me as a bad friend. Sometimes. And sometimes I can listen for hours and hold space for other people to pour their hearts out and process their feelings, and I can ask questions which open them up to perspectives that they couldn't have on their own. But sometimes I just can't stop thinking about something in my life, and when other people need me, I just can't seem to drop it and shut up and be there for them. Why? Why can I be so open and empathetic and giving space sometimes, and then other times I just have no space and no capacity for that? What the hell is taking up this space in my brain? Where's all my energy gone? Where's my focus and my creativity? I've used this analogy before on this channel, that our minds are like gardens. If we tend them well, take care of what's in them, and water and nurture those parts that are important to us, we can let them grow into peaceful and serene places which bring peace to us and to others. And if we disregard caring for that garden of our mind, it can also become full of weeds and trash and vermin. However, it can also get much worse than that for some of us. What happened in my beautiful serene garden was that someone planted a fucking minefield. And what were these landmines? Well, they're anything that my younger self couldn't handle at the time, and it left a trauma wound. And anything that reminds my unconscious mind about those wounds would bring up some insatiable need to resolve that trauma, and it would go around and around my head until it was resolved. The thing that needed to be discussed was the elephant in the room, but this elephant was also angry and on fire. Or if I couldn't address it right away, after a while it would go back into its box, but then the pattern would just come out again and repeat in the future. We see this in so many different types of people. For example, confident actors who do wonderful things in the world who are still haunted by their own demons. Through my connections in the dating coaching industry, I've known some of the most confident people in the world. And I mean, they are genuinely confident people. They're not faking it. And they're like that most of the time. But it seems very common that there's some unresolved issue which, if triggered, it takes them from being this confident adult to a scared child in an adult body. And in some of these cases, someone who might usually be very confident and outgoing sometimes tragically ends up taking their own lives. In some ways, the more confident and calm you are in general, the greater the disruption when something like this happens, because it's the polar opposite of your usual experience. You go from feeling like you're unstoppable, you can do anything you put your mind to suddenly not being able to do anything, having no focus. And there are very few things more devastating for a man than to feel out of control and totally incapacitated. So what can you do about this? Well, for serious and complex cases, therapy is needed. But there are also steps that you can take in your own life on your own. Meditate several times a week, build it into your life. Get used to noticing that your thoughts are not you. You don't have to believe them. You can let them pass by. And also recognize that there really isn't the urgency that part of you generating these thoughts thinks that there is. And I know that sounds simpler than it is, but that's the root of resolving these crises. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk more about applying this in your own life. For now though, thank you very much for listening.